we're here in Middleburg Heights. I'm here with Anthony James, and we're here. Anthony, maybe you can tell me a little bit about this field. It has a little history to it that ties into you. So tell me about this neck of the woods here.
We are actually at the Middleburg Heights complex right behind the rec center. The field behind us is at Koback Field. It's actually where one of my fields that I got my start on. Came from Brook Park, moved over here, and they've always kept this field amazing, immaculate. It's always one of the fields that plays really well. Lights, so night games. So as a young kid, able to play night, so you got that big league feeling. And even my son's been here. My son's played on it, so awesome. Very special field to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So a little bit what we're going to talk about today is the fact of communication. In fact, today is the first day that the broadcast through Facebook will be transitioned to our YouTube and our iPod station. That's going to take place every Sunday. So please make sure you check tune and check in with us every Sunday on guests that we're going to have and everything that we're doing regarding. We have sponsors that are coming in and helping us out. Anthony will be with us on most weeks, naturally, and of course we will have special guests and Gary Lane and many others. But the fact of the matter is, communication is such an important aspect when it comes to anything. When you're consulting, when you're coaching, when you have a leadership position in business, athletic directors and athletic programs across the country. Relationships, rapports. Communication is giant. So without good communication, because there's communication that's not good communication, there's communication that's
subpar.
Or deflection.
Yes.
But when we talk about communication, it's giant, especially when a kid or a youngster or a guy at the professional level is coming off of maybe an injury.
Yes.
Or maybe just struggling a little bit. And you know what? Your job as a coach, it's not about you. It's never about wins and in the long run. That day right there, it's about taking care of business that day and be able to communicate and help that individual out to go ahead and grow and go ahead and get it done and take care of that individual. So
the development of the player too. I mean, injuries happen at any level, whichever sport. They never come at the timely time that we want.
Sure.
It's, as a coach, you have to communicate with that player. Yeah, we have to fill their void, but that's when our other players need to step up and fill that void. I don't care if it's baseball, football, hockey. It's being able to develop them and give them that maturity and give them the right head. Sure. Not, oh, I got to get back out there. Let me get out there. I'm hurt still, but let me over push it and get hurt again.
Absolutely. You know, I'm kneeling down a little bit. Hey, I'm about as tall as you now. Okay?
Hey.
Of course, you know, today I worked out, so my leg is a little sore, so I'm cheating a little bit, putting my knee up here, so I just wanted to be AJ size here, so I wanted to make sure I can come to a certain level here. But that being said here, they had to throw one.
Yeah, you had to throw your short choke in.
So, but the fact is, you know, when an individual is coming off of injuries, you know, yourself in your playing days, you coaching with me at Notre Dame College, you know, and now coaching with youngsters, you know,
right,
at all different ages. When it comes to that injury or that struggle point, the communication is great. You know, I've heard so many different statements, you know, throwing a kid in the closet, you know, or the fact of, hey, not even talking to him, or you know, I'm just going to tell him, hey, you know what, you're great, you're a great athlete, you're good at this level. But don't even communicate or say, what is the steps, what is the pattern, what is the vision for that individual? And, you know, when we coach together at the collegiate level, you know, and there's not too many people that understand that level to begin with, but the fact of the matter is there's no difference in the communication at that level compared to every level from high school and down on. And I want to make sure that today's educational statements are allowing coaches out there to really understand the value, the importance of communication, not just one day, every day. Because I like the word that you said, AJ, development. You are helping that player. You are taking care of those players on development. And you know, I showed a Facebook, you know, a little bit of Alabama, you know, coach. And the fact of the matter is, he's in a PR situation, and I've done at the college level many PR situations, you know, for myself with the players. And the fact of the matter, he showed that he is communicating and having those boys' backs.
Yes. And
that's what it's about. And there's nothing that is more important than communicating to your players and taking care of them and making sure, because remember, if you're coaching because it's about you, hang it up.
Or for your own kid.
Or for your own kid, hang it up. That's not what it's about. You are coaching because you want to help out and develop 50, 60, 70, 80, or if you only have a group of 16 players, and it's all about their future. And schools out there and school systems out there and programs out there that they use that word future, that everything's about the future, then you know what? Let's start actually living up to that mission and helping those individuals.
I wouldn't even say just the coaches, like instructors. There's so many instructors out here nowadays. Yes, I am one. But if a player comes to me and something's tweaked or something's hurting them, hey, no, we're good. Come back when you're healthy, or we kind of modify the plan that day. Because I'd rather have them healthy than keep trying to push and push and push.
Sure.
I know with my son, I know he's 13. Oh, he'll be 13.
Sure.
I push myself, and you know that more than anybody. There's probably times when I was hurt you didn't even know, but you kind of could tell. But I try to push him to see what he can do. But if he's injured, go sit down.
Sure.
You got to take the high road on that as a coach too.
Absolutely. And when it comes back to that developmental time of getting a person back in,
Right.
that's giant too. It talks with communication. And you know what? Let's say there's an individual. I mean, Tito. We have a guy in our backyard here, in Cleveland, one of the best of the best, managing in the bigs, and how he has a rapport with all of his players. It's amazing. A guy could be a Hall of Famer, and a guy could be an All-Star, and all of a sudden he said, you know what? Tomorrow, I'm giving you a day off. You need that day off. You know what? You're struggling a little bit. You're 0 for 10. You're just struggling a little bit. Day off. You'll be back in the lineup after that, but take a day off. A communication of not just, hey, this is where it is. This is when you're coming back. This is what you're going to do. I believe in you. I like you. And players will naturally come to you. When coaches don't want players to come to you, that's a coach being a coward.
That's an issue.
That's a coach being a coward. And I'm going to be very blunt. Everybody knows me. I'm direct as they come. But the fact of the matter is that is being a coward as a coach. And coaches should want those individuals at every single level to come to you and say, hey, you might agree, you might not agree, but you know what? We're going to find the words together.
Right.
And we're going to figure it out together, and we're going to move forward on it, When a player is ready, he's going to come to you because he knows he's confident. And when he's confident, he's going to come to you, he's going to communicate. And you know what, coaches? If you have two eyes, and you can look at yourself in the mirror, if you have two eyes, if you can go ahead and look at your players like you should be, you're going to know that individual, whether it's a young lady or a young man, has confidence, is ready to go.
I know we're in front of the camera right now, you and I, but think about it, spring break and everything. When we were down for your coaching, I was playing. We had 3 games that one day. You came to me and said, can you take the third? All day. If I was tired, I'd let you know too.
Right. No, everything makes sense on that. But the fact of the matter is, we have to be able to allow our players to communicate. We have to allow anybody to be able to communicate and be open. Talk about really, like you just gave a great example. How do you really feel? What's really the truth? The fact of the matter is, let's be real honest. Communicate on what the real truth is. Hey, I'm tired. I can't do it. Or, hey, you know what? Here's really what it is. And the fact of the matter is, as coaches, not allowing those players to be able to communicate and not actually taking it serious. I have a big social, emotional learning frown upon that. I just don't see that, coaches are really, and I'm talking about business owners. I'm talking about anybody on any level, not allowing that individual to go ahead and again, I'm putting Tito on a pedestal here, because, I had a chance to talk before and be at a convention with him before, and I'll tell you another guy that's just very good at it. Maybe it's look at Trussell.
Yes.
A guy that I actually was recruited by him out of when he was at Youngstown State.
Yeah.
And the guy and have done plenty of public speaking with him, over the years. The man is just amazing at letting his players communicate, and that's why people love him, and that's why people understand that he's real. He keeps it real, and he's straight, he's real, and players appreciate that, and anybody appreciates that.
Another one would be Bobby Bowden.
I love it. Yep, of course.
Coach, hey, I got the nose gear on. Started against LSU tonight, but even Coach Martin, when I met him when I was very young, great guy.
Sure.
Very down to earth, kind of like yourself. And that's why they call them players coaches.
Sure. Sure.
because they have that respect. And I think that's what there's a lot of miscommunication or misconstrued
Sure.
that happens along the way.
Makes sense. So, if there's one statement that I'd like to end with, is the fact of the matter is sometimes as players, it's hard, but sometimes you got to do things that you're not comfortable, and that's hard for you, and maybe that you don't want. Sometimes you got to tell coach, "Hey, I'm sorry. This is how it is." I've had plenty of guys come and tell me, and I love it.
Be honest.
I love
As a player and a coach.
And you got to tell them the truth, and even if it's something that what really happened or what really is going on or whatever it is, if you can come and just it's sometimes, and on the other end, sometimes the coach or the player, it's hard to do something, but you have to do it.
Yes.
And that's where I think it's really tough, because on both sides of the fence, that individuals, they just can't be real. They can't be truthful. And the fact of the matter is, that's when things go sideways, and that's where, but at the end of the day, one person's going to take initiative. It should be the coach, but sometimes it's the player.
Yes.
And hell, I can say as a young as head coach in college baseball at one point that there was points that players taught me, and every single day, every single year, players teach coaches.
Yes.
And when coaches don't want to learn that, coaches don't want to actually look and see that, well, I really don't have anything to say on that.
To be a great coach, you better be always learning.
I like that statement. All right, we're in with that. We'll talk more. Do not forget, next Sunday, every Sunday, we will see you. Talk
See you
with
guys.
Greg.